Always good.
Oh man. Hey, good evening everybody. Welcome to Roll for Effort. My name is Jason and I am here tonight with Joe, Chuck, Park. There he is, Damien. And and Gary. This evening we are once again coming back with Lamentations of the Flame Princess. And if you like what you see here, please help us grow. We're finally at that point where we're starting to kind of aim for that, and we finally got our quality up. So hit that like button, subscribe, leave your comments, share with your friends. If you like the work, if you hate the work, tell us why. So with that, Joe, take it away.
All right. Good evening. All right. Yeah. So last week in our first session, kind of had like a nice little bit of RP. There was actually quite a lot of RP, but we had conversations happening up into the up at the church in the town there with. I've got to look at me notes. With whoops, wrong page. One sec. All right, with Father Benettini, who's there with Elric, and also Dust was there. I was about to call you Fanril, but that's neither here nor there yet. We had conversations with Scored and Minimus taking place with Ironwort at the Painted Lantern. And Etienne was kind of rushing about town taking care of a lot of the deliveries for Merrick. And everyone kind of, in some interesting way, came to the conclusion all by yourselves to kind of start heading up north. A lot of folks were going towards Grandmother Anne's home. There were things you wanted to talk with her about. And Etienne was also carting along with delivery goods for Filton. And upon finding Grandmother Anne's small home, and at first seeming like nobody was there, Minimus had already started chewing down some of the psychotropics with a nice little button of peyote. Used his first spell, the ESP, when he saw Grandmother Anne just kind of standing vacantly in her living room through the window. And she was kind of lost in some train of thought because she herself had consumed some quite wonderful mushrooms, as she put it. And she invited everybody in, where the sense of the candles that were burning, the herbs were burning, kind of were very prevalent among this herb-filled shack of this hedge wizard, this hedge witch there for the town. Etienne had some soup while you guys were there, and also learned a little bit more about some of these missing children, while Grandmother Anne kind of seemed to prattle on almost in a, I guess, trance state, again due to the mushrooms that she was eating. She was a little bit miles away, so to speak. And upon hearing about the Gimble stone, or the stone that was discovered on Farmer Gimble's land, you guys started making your way that direction. But also, I think first it was to stop by Patterson's home, because he was the most recent child, or his daughter was the most recent child that went missing. And as you guys reached that spot, right up there at the edge by the big old oak tree. Oh, it would help if I drag everybody there. Spot with the big oak tree. You'd had a fight with a lone bestial, half man, half goat thing that came rushing up out of the tree, or from behind the tree there. And as soon as it was slain, the spot where it hit the ground, it just kind of evaporated and dissolved away like a dream upon waking. And it was gone. So it is here again that we start. It's closing in towards noon on this day, which puts us about 5.5 days from the Harvest Festival and the autumnal equinox. So we'll go ahead and start this off. Yeah, again, there's just the indention in the grass where something had laid, and so Scored. Why don't you kick us off with what's happening at the moment, as you guys are standing here just off to the side or very close to Patterson's farmland.
We've just finished the combat with this thing. And we're still near this tree. Friends, that beast was not of this world. Somehow I was connected to it, the burning in my hand. I'm not versed in these arcane arts as you are. What do you make of this?
Val Spawn. The devil's work, obviously.
You calling me a devil?
No, not you. The creature. Did you not see its horns? What is more important is where did it come from? Do any of you have any skill in tracking?
I can take a look at the dirt and see what it says.
Ah. Hidden talents all abound. Give it a shot. See what you can tell us. Where did this creature come from? In what direction did it march?
And I'll walk over to the tree and kind of see if I can pinpoint what direction those feet print were coming from.
Yeah, of course. And that's it's going to be our first roll of the night. Make a roll against your bushcraft. Which is the D6 against however many pips you have.
So I have 2, so it'd be 2d6?
Yeah, no. Just it's 1d6, but with 2 pips, that would be success on a 5 or a 6.
Got it.
Oh.
Yeah, you can definitely see some trampled earth around by the base on the other side of that tree, kind of opposite from where everybody was approaching from. But where it came from, you can't be sure. It almost looks like there's more than one set of prints. Like there's multiple hoof prints kind of that seem to have been stomping around an area of the bark that looks like it's kind of been roughed or rubbed up a bit.
I am not a skilled tracker, but it looks like there was more than one.
Said there was this goat thing we saw, so I'm going to go over there as well and see if I can, see these. You said there was things rubbing up against the tree or tracks or whatever. I'm going to see what I can make of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the same line of thought too. I mean, I had written in our little play-by-play text that having risen with a look of soberness in his eyes, from the traumatic event, he kind of sobers up from his psychedelic trip that had gone really bad. And I'd walked over to the tree as well, Joe, just so you know. I was there carving a letter M into the bark of the oak tree to mark our path in case for some reason we came back here. So I would get the tree.
While they're doing this, I want to take up position to sort of keep guard and watch.
Okay. Open up real quick. All right, and so yeah, while you guys are investigating there, Scored, you go over and take a look, and clear as day, you can see where Etienne is pointing out the definite stamping of hoof. Definitely looks it's cloven. It's actually quite small now that you guys are here looking at it. It's kind of strange almost, but there definitely appears to have been more than just 2 feet kind of bumping around here. And along the tree, same thing like Etienne had seen. It looks like something had rubbed its horns or stripped some of the bark away. For Etienne, probably about knee height ish. For you, probably about waist to chest height on the tree.
So do we see tracks leading away from the tree or leading to the tree, or are they just around the tree?
Yeah, they're just around the tree. There's a little bit less grass and more exposed earth. And any other tracks are kind of lost into the grasses or the thicker parts of the plains around here.
Gotcha.
Did not that woman say there was a farm nearby?
Yeah, William Patterson's farm is nearby.
Yeah.
And as you're standing watch there, Elric, you do see a figure approaching from farther beyond the tree into that farmland. And let me pop him up. Boom. And this fella comes running clean up, almost in a panic. And Etienne, you recognize him immediately. It for certain is Farmer William Patterson. And he comes running up. Oh, by the light, in the name of the one, what have you done here?
Oh, don't worry, we took care of the beast.
Oh, I can't believe it. It did it. That was me prize goat. It was me prize goat. It's a long hair from South Farthing. And
Did your prize goat stand on its back feet and attack people?
And he kind of motions off, past everybody, and you guys are looking, and you see the spot where this thing had faded, but now that you're really looking at it, and he's pointing it out, you see like what looks like a little trail in the grass a few steps beyond, and sure enough, there's nothing but a goat laying there with a single crossbow bolt stuck into it, and it's just laying there dead. Oh, that was me prize goat. I was taking him to the fair. What have you done? What have you done?
Are there any signs of the battle axe?
There are no signs of a battle axe.
Great.
Dust walks over to the... Sorry, go ahead, Mythweaver.
I was just going to say, everybody go ahead and roll me a save versus magic.
What kind of magic?
Or I'm sorry, make that a save versus poison.
Oh, even better.
Wrong one,
Like
yeah. Save versus poison. And Minimus, I guess it would count as a magical effect for you, so you can add your bonus there.
Are these saves? Yeah, I was just going to ask, are these saves like a straight roll, or are there any kind of bonuses associated?
Nope, there can be bonuses or penalties, but this one is just a straight roll.
All right.
I believe save versus magic, wisdom can add to that. And the goal here, you just want to roll higher than the save you have listed on your sheet.
Okay.
And we're doing poison, right?
Yeah, against poison.
So it's not meet or
Also-
beat, it's higher. You got to roll above.
Well, meet or beat.
Meet or
Yeah.
beat. Okay, cool.
Yeah, equal to or higher than.
Do you get to add an intelligence bonus to this or no?
Straight die roll.
Yeah, not to poison.
What?
It was a goat man, I tell you. A goat man.
Right?
Yeah, I look at goats, bro. I know what I'm looking at.
All right, now, who have you passed? I can kind of guess at
Not
some of
me.
those that failed.
Elrond failed, of course.
I passed. Yeah, Minimus is good.
Yeah, I figured the
passed as
18
well.
was solid.
Yeah.
Sword and Dust? Did
I
those
The
passed.
ones that ate the
Yeah.
soup.
and
I
Dust failed? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so both Scored and
That's saved, too.
Scored and Minimus, you're able to kind of cut through that peyote you ate. But the both of you, your heads kind of feel like a little bit clearer out here in like this fresh air, and you start smelling the grass. Like some effect is fading away from you. Minimus, despite the fact that peyote is still kind of starting to peak on you, you do kind of familiarly remember that the scent coming from her candle, sure there was like some lavender in it, but you swear it also smelled like a lotus blossom of some sort, which is known for hallucinogenic effect. Having been inside the grandmother Anne's home, everybody having been breathing these fumes.
Awesome. I was
But yeah,
wondering, Joe, if I could build a little bit on what had happened with our play-by-play, which would have, I guess, contemporaneously would have, I guess, occurred here when Scored had announced his predicament, and he described the situation. I responded kind of like I said in the play-by-play that as a hedge wizard, I grabbed his hand and I looked because he had mentioned that there was pain in his hand from this when the beast got hurt. Is there any way I can make an intelligence roll on that in that action or that encounter?
Oh yeah, do you want to turn back to that? Well,
no, it's right at the same time. It's happening right now. We're at the tree. He's talking about
yeah. The farmer he's just kind of moved past everybody,
Okay.
going to tend to his sheep, kind of weeping, or his goat. Oh dear, oh dear.
Well, Patterson, how much would you get for this goat at the fair?
Oh, it wasn't for selling. It was in a competition. It was for the care of my livestock. 10 silver it cost me. 10 silver straight from South Farthing. Oh, by the one, what have you done? I'll get my 10 silvers from all of you.
I will apologize for my compatriot who obviously was awestruck by the whatever was under. He was under the impression of those the food that we've given. He just couldn't handle his peyote as a good dwarf, and I will hand him 15 silvers.
Nice.
For it. And I say, but now you understand. Now we can't let this good goat go to waste. And I say we have roasted goats for dinner.
I guess I could see how it might. Can't let it go to waste. This is true. This is true. Where's my table?
Good sir.
It's not important.
What did you say your name was again?
I'm William Patterson. He kind of takes his hat off and he's much more amiable now. The apology and suggestion of eating, as well as being well compensated.
Mr. Patterson. We actually journeyed this way to inquire about your missing offspring.
Yes, Mr. Patterson. For someone who has lost their child, you seem very concerned about a goat.
Well, there's not much I could do about me little Nan missing. The goat was still here, you see. I mean, how often is it that a child missing somewhere ever turns back up? To be honest. Not like anybody else be able to do nothing about it.
Well, that's why we're here. You bray like an ass, Patterson. What happened and when did it happen?
Well, it was just this morning. I went in. My fair Martha, she went to get little Nancy up out of bed. Poor Nan. She was just gone. Clean out of her bed, gone. It's just nothing. No trace that we could see. No sign. It's just gone.
And the baby was in her bed last night?
Aye, that she was.
Who have you spoken to about this?
Oh, the constable in town. He was out, had him a look around. I did the best I could looking around my house and looking for any kind of tracks, and there was none. It was just... It was like something ghosted her clean out of the house.
So you haven't spoken to the old woman who lives to the west?
Oh, Grandmother Anne. No.
Oh, that is interesting.
Liable to walk away feeling a little doozy in your head.
That is strange. She told us that your child was missing. I wonder how she came to know of it if you had not told her. Surely the constable wouldn't have had time to march. I mean, we here left for Anne's house at sunrise, and surely he wouldn't have had enough time to walk all the way to the village and back.
No. Grandmother Anne, see, she knows things. As some folks would say, she's a witch. But I'll tell you what, when I broke my arm last summer, I mean, look at it now. Moves just fine. She got the bone all worked back together, gave me some medicines for it. She knows what she's doing, but she's a little daft. Says she can hear the trees talking to her. The trees. Talking. Now that's not right.
No, it isn't. I shall
She
have
knows
to
a
say a
lot.
prayer
She
for
knows
her.
quite a lot.
To be is to be perceived. I drop down with my dagger that I just carved an M into the tree, and I sink it into this goat and rip it down its gut to expose its entrails.
Yeah, they spill out.
Ah, that stench!
You got a plan there, Minimus.
Yeah, and I'll reach inside and I'll pull out one of its glands and tuck it into my pocket.
Okay.
Save that for later.
It seems to be real, but everything
Yeah,
around
that's a
us
blood
is
knife.
not.
I have read of barbarians reading the entrails of the dead. Surely that's not what you intend to do here.
No, just something for a bit later. Called a flavor saver.
Ah, good goat liver is rather tasty.
Brother Elric, barbarians merely a point of view or perspective. There are some who would call your order barbaric.
Yes, and they would be fools to think so. Barbarism is quite real in this world, I assure you. But we, the Guardians of Light, serve the people and protect you all from those terrible blights.
Are there any acorns laying on the ground underneath this oak tree at this time of year?
Yes, there are still some, maybe not as fresh as you would like. There's still a couple that are, in that almost ready to fall off the tree state. But there are quite a few. And actually, kind of looking around now that you're focusing and looking for these acorns from this oak, there does seem like maybe this goat was over here chewing on some of them. And the multiple hoof prints of such a small size kind of start to make sense that it's a four-legged beast that was rummaging about.
Mm.
My next question is, did Scored feel anything when I sank my dagger into this goat?
Nope.
Well, of course I didn't feel anything. It's just a dead goat. Crazy hedge wizards.
Well,
You feel that, Scored? Hey?
well, I'm gonna dig a pit for these guts here, and I'm gonna start roasting this goat. If you're more than welcome to come by later and have something to eat. I'll have it cooking up. It should be done by tonight. I would hope. Good 6 hours over the fire.
Do you mind if I take one more trophy and I bend down to grab the goat horn and try and remove it if I can?
Yeah, you're able with a knife to kind of cut in and break some of the bone that it's attached to and pull off the horn.
All right. Now, as stone sober as I can be, tripping balls on peyote. That's my action.
Yeah, and real quick also, while you were there, Minimus, looking at this tree and such, and carving the animal and grabbing the oak, for a brief moment staring at the tree, the bark itself twists and pulls, and you see that for a moment before it goes away, before it shuffles back and it's just tree bark.
Well, I'm just going to be going through my journal to see if there's any images that I've scrawled in there, and if not, I'm going to scroll that down as fast as I can into the next page.
All right. And the farmer Patterson, he calls back, you're welcome to take a look around my house if you like, if you're looking for my nan. As he's kind of trailing off with this goat after burying the guts in a little pit up there.
Let us continue to do that. I mean,
Seems like
perhaps
the
the child
only
simply ran off into the wood.
Elric, you speak wisdom. The veil has grown thin, and I agree. We must take caution. Something is afoot. Something does not sit right. The smell is funny. Do you not smell that? It smells like lotus.
I guess we're all
Yeah,
trying,
a little
right?
little bit of leftover stuck in the clothes. No, like some of you are still feeling some effects. Dust, Elric, and Etienne. Kind of, now that you're noticing a bit more, the goat being there in place of this goat man that you were certain you had seen, kind of has like this little buzzing in the back of your skull.
Well, being one of the only one, if it's still got my wits about me, I will sort of herd the rest of these mushroom snorting folks along the road heading on towards Patterson's farm.
Okay, heading towards Patterson's farm.
Oh wait, my friends, we must be heading to the farm, which is where we started to go in this first place. So let's make our way there like we were planning to do.
I'll wipe off my bloody dagger on my my cape and put my journal in the pack and fall in line. Let's do it.
I'll make a note. I owe William 1 goat.
No, you don't.
Oh no, I do.
That goat fair and square.
Before everyone heads out to Patterson's farm, or as everybody heads out to Patterson's farm, Dust will kneel on one knee and she'll place 2 fingers in the dirt where all the small goat tracks are, and she'll kind of run her hands over it, place both hands on the ground, close her eyes, and she thinks back to Adelshade and anything that Adelshade might have taught her about. Is all of this what it seems to be, or is it some sort of giant trick? And what might there be that steals children in the night? And is there any role that I can make as far as history to try and recall anything like that?
I don't believe there's quite a history one.
No, there's not.
Yeah, go ahead and make me go with an intelligence roll. And,
just a D20 plus 1?
Yeah, or actually, yeah. Usually it's for this it's D20 roll under your stat. Would you guys prefer that, or would you rather roll D20 plus your modifiers over a static number?
Oh, no.
When you say stat, do you mean saving throw?
No.
Or under your intelligence score?
No, what he's saying is your intelligence higher number, you're rolling under. So it's a mix of whether you roll over or whether you roll under.
Roll over.
Yeah. Which would you guys prefer, a roll over or a roll under for attribute checks?
Over.
That's fine.
Over, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over? Okay.
I'm a child of the modern D&D era,
Oh,
unfortunately.
no, yeah. No, I've totally got it backwards. Damn, peyote. Yeah, over.
Okay. Yeah, so for rolling over, then it'll be D20 plus your modifier, and we'll put it at that standard unarmored difficulty of 12. Yeah, so meter beat of 12.
Okay. That's all right.
Does not do it.
Not quite. There's nothing that comes to mind off the bat, and it could be perhaps like there's like a strange bit of buzzing still kind of happening in the back of your mind there.
Dust picks up a handful of dirt and sniffs it, looks to the sky and thinks, Adelshade, tosses the dirt and follows the rest of the farm.
All right. And there we go. Oh, did that go to the right layer? Yeah, it did.
Yep, we see it.
Yeah, for a minute there I was like, did I send that to the right spot?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is way grainier than it was originally. It's a bummer.
That's all fine.
Looks good.
It matters not.
Right. Yeah, so you guys make your way to the farmhouse there.
Aye.
Let's pop our fellow back out.
Quite a place you have here, Patterson.
Oh, it's not much, but
Quite a place.
it's my home.
Not much. It's 2 stories and there's at least 10 rooms.
Oh, I've worked hard to build this up, and I've got to have room for my hands.
How big is your family?
Oh, well, there's just the 5. My sons, my wife, and I've got some hands that also work the farm, and I've got them a spot here on the bottom floors, off to the side.
Are they all here?
Oh, aye. Well, a couple of them, you could see that they're out there running the plows right now.
Good hard work. Many blessings be upon you and your folk. The church will bless you.
Oh, thank you for that, Father. Thank you.
If you lads want to check around and inside, I'm going to stay out here and patrol and keep an eye out. In case there are more...
Patterson, are all your workers' whereabouts accounted for last night?
Oh, of course they were. I'll have no funny business in my farm. If they get unruly or a little too much into the drink, I'll send them walking. I'll have none of that.
You say your child left this morning, or was taken this morning, and you have not talked to any of them.
Well, no one's seen anything. We found it going this morning. She was sometime during the night. She was there when we went to sleep and just gone when we woke up.
Are your windows bolted?
Bolted? No. Why would we do that?
Curious. It's a thing that
You
some
don't
of the
lose your
city folk
kids.
do.
Well, I mean, and he points up. That's her window there. I mean, can't quite see why we wouldn't need to put something for her to get in. It's
Oh,
like,
I don't know. When I was a rapscallion young lad, I used to climb trees all the time.
but it's Nan.
Yes, and she have her legs and her arms. Is she a child or not?
Well, aye, she is, but she's sewing circles and needle points.
How many summers has she seen?
Just now 7.
7, huh? She's light enough. A fall from that height may not have killed her.
We check the ground around the base of the window area. Or below the window.
Right? Yeah, roll me that bushcraft.
Oh, man.
You have the best shot out of all of us.
I do. I have a 1.
Oh, I have great. I got 3. I don't know if I can start looking around.
It's a D6, Gary.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, it's a D6? My bad.
Yeah, D6
Yeah.
and
There it is.
boom.
You got it.
Ah.
Boom.
Yeah, so strangely enough, you do kind of make something out. Like there's almost a dampness on the flagstones that make up this pathway, or these pathstones. Think of like if you lay your hand on a table and just leave it there for a while and remove it, you'll kind of have that damp impression.
The layer of condensation.
Condensation.
Yeah.
You see that in this strange, thin, long kind of humanoid foot.
Dust, Minimus, come take a look at this really quick. I need your assistance.
Yeah, it's you're definitely able to point it out to them, but it is difficult to see in the light here of this just past noon sun here.
Interesting. Yeah, of course we'll take a look. I don't know if we can improve upon the bushcraft roll or not. So.
No, I'm hoping for your arcane in this.
Yeah. Well, at this point, nothing is real and everything is permitted. The veil is worn so thin, I don't even know if I'm not dreaming at this point. However, if I can make a roll of bushcraft elsewhere, I was thinking of going around the perimeter of the house as well, and just kind of looking around and inspecting what I could.
Right. Actually, Minimus, give me an intelligence roll from you.
Yeah.
As you're looking at this,
I'm
and make that an additional +2.
Yeah. So did I have a target? I didn't know.
Doesn't matter. You missed it.
Yeah, 6 was not it.
No.
Yeah, target 12, like unarmored,
Nice.
basically, unless it needs to be more.
Dust casts Phantasmal Supergoria and tries to conjure a bloodhound.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
This is going to be a risky cast. You did cast it once already today, earlier in the fight.
That's right.
Brought the wolf out.
Yeah.
Arno. What happened to Arno?
Quick,
Arno the wolf.
right? All right, so have you taken any damage?
No.
No. Are you encumbered at all?
No.
You're under the effects of peyote?
No, that
Not that I'll admit.
Maybe.
all right, so
That should only help, right?
I was Bogart in the ability.
If the doggy's glowing, no.
So this is actually going to be you're going to have to make 2 rolls. One of them your standard casting roll.
Okay.
And we're just
and then
aiming
another
over
against magic, right?
Yeah, and then a magic saving throw at -1.
Mm.
Because it's just 1 past your thing and none of the other conditions apply.
You can do it, Dust. Ah!
Ooh.
Who has a hero coin?
Nobody.
A coin
Yeah,
falls from the heavens, smacking him in the forehead.
Yeah, so I don't even cast it.
Yeah,
You said the target was 12?
Yeah, for the base. Yeah, you cannot seem to muster like controlling your thoughts well enough to try and pull the spell up. Which is good. That means no save.
Mr. Patterson, what are your intent for the festival? You have quite a large farm here. Do you have any part in participating in the Grand Autumnal Equinox?
Oh, I've got me cider coming down. Oh, plenty of food. We've got lots of apple pies. Of an orchard on the other side over here of apples. What was wrong with your friend there? The chanting and the twitchy hands.
No, she is an elf.
Oh,
yes.
I've seen strange
cursed
things
soul.
from some elves. That's for sure.
Don't
One
worry.
of my friends is an elf. He kind of says much more loudly.
No,
Nice.
Mr. Patterson, it's all right. Someday I plan to free her of her affliction.
Dust looks at Patterson and says, "What was that, Patterson?"
I said I'll know some elves. Right in Berksford. Nice folk.
What do these folk do?
One of them's a tailor. Finest silks and clothings you've seen round these parts. Kind of
Just
fashion
immediately-
you quite only see in Liverpool. Now, I've never been to Liverpool myself, but I understand it's quite well to do and fancy.
Dust looks at him and says, "I hear the Beatles are thick in Liverpool." And then she turns back and goes back to looking at the tracks.
Minimus flashes to the future and has these ideas.
I have to check the linen.
Mr. Patterson, you're quite right. Liverpool is a jewel. The Lord has truly blessed it.
Oi.
Are you going to invite us in, Mr. Patterson? Can we take a look inside your house?
Please. You'll find the stairs right inside. Don't pay no mind to Martha. She's busy about making up the house.
I shall remain in God.
She's fretting some with our little Nancy missing.
Before we go inside, I would Dust will pull Minimus aside, and she won't touch him, but she will kind of do one of these numbers to him.
Ooh, what is that?
You got the finger.
It's a come hither, like
one
a...
of these.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I comply.
She says, "I noticed you're able to perceive things that aren't necessarily seen."
Now, as I said, the trick is to be perceived. You cannot make an observation without altering the habit of the things you are watching.
She says, "You talk way more than is needed. What I need to know is, can you go in that little girl's room and find out what happened remotely?"
There is a strong chance that if I go in that room, I may lose my sanity. There is a greater chance that we all find resolution in this matter. So I will take that risk.
I will
Answer
accompany
your
you.
question, yes.
I will go with you.
Fair enough. Time's wasted.
After
Let
ye.
us go. I start my way up the stairs. I nod my hat to Martha as I walk in and go straight up the stairs to the room.
Okay. And the folks staying outside, Scored and Elric, and I think Etienne, if you guys are staying out, what are you guys busying yourselves with out here?
This is way beyond my IQ. So I'm looking for where the lamb that I bought. I want to see where it's cooking because I want to help cook it.
Oh yeah, he's got more to the front. He's got a pit dug out. There's already hot coals. It looks like they stay pretty warm a lot of the time. But it's already skinned off and skewered up. The open body cavity looks like it's been stuffed with potatoes and apple, and it's been twine laced back closed. It's already starting to roast.
That sounds good.
But before Dust ascends the stairs, she turns around and looks at Scored and says, "It's not a lamb, it's a goat, you fucking pagan."
I thought it was a goat, you damn elf.
I'll put my hand out on the shoulder of Mr. Patterson and express that before you feast upon this lamb, please allow me to bless it.
Nice.
Even the priest calls it a lamb.
That's kind of heavily metaphorical, maybe, in this case. I don't know.
I think you're all crazier than a bat in a belfry.
Yeah, so walking up the stairs, is there any resistance? Do we have carte blanche of our investigatory methods?
Yeah. Martha's kind of sitting there like, teary-eyed, kind of just weeping over some needlepoint. Well, there's a pot of something boiling up on the fire or on the stove there.
You still hungry at the end?
I'm still outside eyeballing the footprint. It's got me a little off-put, the size of this thing. I'm continuing to try to see if I can figure out where this track leads.
Okay. Yeah, then actually, while you guys make your way upstairs, let me jump over and catch up with Etienne there. All right, so you can definitely, kind of make out a few more of these steps. It looks like whatever it was standing kind of on that ground floor beneath the window. And it's strange if she was missing through the morning that these are still kind of almost present there. And they do kind of, you can see them vaguely turn like the prints, and there almost seems to be that same kind of just a little bit of condensation on blades of grass on the area surrounding that seem to walk back out kind of the direction you guys came, towards that lone oak, that old oak tree hanging out there in the middle of the plain.
So what's Etienne doing? He's just sort of looking at the grass?
Yeah, I'm wilderness scouting.
Yeah, you get about 20 feet or so out before you kind of lose them, but they are most definitely pointing in that direction.
Okay.
Towards the oak.
Etienne, you won't find your lunch there. The lunch is here by the fire. What are you looking for?
My lunch can wait. I'm trying to find the small child, and I keep looking. I'll keep following the tracks.
Yeah, you lose them after about 20 feet or so. The grass just starts to get a little too tall and thick in that area.
I don't know what all this concern about a small child is. Can't they just make more?
Aye, dwarf, they can. But every life is valuable to our Lord.
Just because the human reproductive rate is so much higher, you can say something like,
all right. All right. So yeah, the two of you guys make your way up, or Etienne, Minimus and Dust, make your way up, and it's a small, we'll call it cozy, cramped room. There's just a small, I almost wanted to call it a bureau, dressing, a garment box that is a bureau.
Yeah.
Wardrobe, that's the word I'm looking for. There's a smaller wardrobe, with some, small dresses and stuff, and a bed, and there's not much else in there.
Huh.
And it is right up by that window.
I think I would take this opportunity to disclose to Dust at this point. I would lean to her and be like, yes, now that we're alone, I will let you know that my abilities are not normal. However, I'm limited. When a tree that falls in the forest It only makes a sound if there's an ear to listen. So if something happened here, you would have to listen in the right forest, if that makes sense. I'll walk over to the bed and I'll start to kind of feel around, and if it's like safe, then I'm going to lay down and go into a meditative state.
Okay. Yeah, and you've still got the peyote kind of running through your system. It hasn't been too long since you have eaten it.
Yeah, and that's basically my process for investigation. I'm going to investigate using the methods that I know. I'm seeing if I can find any evidence, and also disclosing to Dust that yes, I do have magical powers.
As you hunker down to take a nap.
Right.
Yeah.
Dust
I lay down and make myself comfortable. Yes.
Dust says nothing in reply. She kind of cuts her eyes at Minimus, lets him lay down, and as he lays down, is there a footstool or a foot locker of any sort in the room?
No, it's basically the bed and this small wardrobe filled with just some dresses and stuff.
There's nothing to sit on?
No, not in the child's room. This is more that era where your room was just for sleeping, and if you were awake, you needed to be out doing something on the farm.
You would be working.
Yeah,
Dust
all the seating stuff was downstairs.
Dust will unsheath her sword, shut the door, and stand just inside the frame of the door.
Nice. Okay. All right, and Minimus, let's go ahead and get you with an intelligence roll as you lay down and kind of let that, let the peyote, coursing through your body, kind of expand your mind.
Yeah. I'm going to do a basic investigation for what that's worth, and then, if it fails or I'm not getting, I don't know, a depth of information that I want, I'll probably cast ESP after that. Building up to,
Okay, well, the ESP, you kind of need a target.
Right. No, my target would be what's her name? Martha? Martha downstairs. But.
So are you going to probe her for information?
Yeah, but I'm doing an investigation and just settling in into that remote sensing state right now, and I totally blew the investigation list.
Yeah, as you're trying to kind of like lay down and let that kind of hallucinogenic trance kind of wash over you, you can just hear kind of like the shouting back and forth or the argument back and forth outside this open window between Elric and Scored, arguing about the state of the wrong goat and that it was blessed, but no, it's cursed. That's kind of like it's breaking your harshing your mellow.
Damn this conversation of barbecue! I cannot focus.
No, dwarf, let me purify it. I'm sure it was cursed.
No shit, man. No shit. Fucking cursed lamb.
You saw visions anyway. There's no way you could be in your right mind. You were seeing things.
Visions. I am a pure soul. I do not imbibe that filth. Because how would he know that he got the peyote fumes anyway?
I don't know. Yeah, Minimus is the only one on the peyote. He ate that on purpose.
Oh.
The other one, it was a lotus extract in all of Grandma Anne's candles.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but okay.
It was a good candle.
'Twas an expensive candle.
Well,
An expensive candle.
Elric was only in there for like a moment. He spent most of the time hanging outside.
Yeah.
My defense.
It was enough.
Chambered. We got chambered.
Right. Yeah. So, Elric, if you want to purify the food,
Yes.
most certainly.
Yes.
And you have not cast anything, successfully, so you still have a safe cast.
That's right.
Day.
I'm going to say my prayers over the food now. Dwarf.
Nice.
God damn it. Doesn't matter. I am unheard.
Yeah, we're gonna roll high later. We
Yeah.
don't need it.
I would say maybe I would know, like, as a character, I wouldn't, like, sometimes I feel like an overwhelming sense of warmth and kinship with the world, and I don't get that sense.
As he's doing his prayer, I hold up the piece of goat that I've cut off. So, is it ready yet?
Yeah. I say a mundane prayer over it regardless for whatever blessing that might be worth.
Oh, it is ready. Then I just
Yeah.
Give us this day our daily go.
Yeah.
Do all
Good gosh,
dwarves
let's
eat raw meat?
what's wrong with it? It's fine.
It's from the outside. It's already got a little crackling of fat going.
Yeah,
Fine.
it was warmed up.
Elric laughs. Oh, you're a fine fellow, full of humor.
All right, yeah, and actually to answer your question, Minimus, yes, this will be a risky because you cast the ESP earlier on Anne.
I gotta do it. I mean, we're here for a purpose, man.
All right, and you're gonna ESP into Martha's mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shut out the freaking discussion about how to cook a freaking goat and try and focus on on Martha, who obviously is pretty disturbed by this, and Mr. Patterson wasn't. So that's a very massive clue. And instead of going and asking her, I think it's going to be better just to roll the dice. I've been rolling low. Let's go for it. ESP.
All right, so before you roll, have you taken any damage or anything?
No.
No? Yeah, and I know there's no encumbrance or any of that good stuff going for anybody really yet. So this is just going to be at a -1, or well, make your roll as normal, your casting roll as normal. But your magic saving throw, if successful, will be at -1.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
if the cast roll is successful.
Gotcha. At target 12.
Yep, we're still hanging out on that unarmored. Holy shit!
Boom! Only a matter of time, baby.
Save Martha.
All right, so
I got you, Martha. I know what you're thinking.
Right, the veil parts and the gray film that normally covers the world lifts, and like all the colors
Martha's
are
evil
real.
plans come to fruition.
I'm able to shut out the smell of wafting goat flesh burning on the
right? With the natural 20, instead of rolling at a -1, I'm going to let you take that at a +1. Basically, like adding a +2 to your magic save instead of that -1, which it translates to a +1.
All right, so I got to beat my
Wipes
magic. Got to beat my magic save at a +2. Is that what you just said? No.
Yep.
Yes. Or no, you roll your die +1 to beat your magic save.
Only +1. Okay.
Yeah, total of +1.
It was a -1. All right. So against magical devices, here we go. I got a 13, so I missed it.
Ooh. All right. Oh crap! I am unprepared. I need to go grab one book real fast. It'll take me like 2 seconds. Apologies, guys. I should have had the book because you just failed the thing. So
actually, Joe, this is really good timing. We're at 53 minutes if we want to take a break.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Before we find out the dangers of the miscast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Potential.
I might need a moment before I know what happens.
So everyone take a bathroom break. All you people are still watching. You're awesome. Thank you. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Right? Oh boy. Yeah, this could potentially be not good.
Joe, you bastards are gonna kill us all. I'm out of the house, by the way. That's got to be out of range of area of effects.
Right?
I'm over here heading towards the tree.
Oh man. We'll be right back.
All right.